If you're thinking about trying out a Gearbox paddle for pickleball, or you're thinking about upgrading your current paddle, then this video might be for you. It's not a deep dive, but I'm giving you my take on Gearbox's latest paddles for pickleball. Stay tuned. My name is Achilles, and I've been playing pickleball for about 8 months. Now, when it was time for me to choose a paddle to play pickleball with, it wasn't a shocker that I went with Gearbox. Not because I believe they have a superior product. It's because I'm transitioning from racquetball. And with racquetball, the Gearbox racket gave me tons of confidence. Everything from power, control, everything I needed to have a well-rounded game. So I figured, hey, if they have a really good racket for racquetball, why not pickleball? So I tried out this paddle here. And it's the one I've been using for the past 8 months. And I have to say, I've got a lot to learn. But overall, my game is decent. It gives me adequate power, control, not so much. So when I found out that Gearbox was bringing out a whole new line of paddles, I was really excited. So I reached out to Gearbox and got some demo paddles. Now, the demo program is awesome. If you don't know about it, please look into it. For $20, they'll send you up to 4 paddles of your choosing to try out. Now, these paddles range between $150 to $200 per paddle. So I believe that it's wise and prudent to try these things out before committing. Now, every paddle has something different to offer, whether it's power, control, stability, the overall feel, the length, and it depends on your playing style, your body type, your strength level, your speed level, what you'll gravitate towards, or what would complement your game the best. Now, for me, overall, I'm relatively athletic. Strength-wise, I have no issues there. Speed, I've got a lot of quick twitch muscles, so I can hang with the best of them. So while I'm testing out these paddles, I'm looking for all those elements, right? The speed, the control, just the overall feel, balance of the paddle. Does it complement my game? Can I get a lot of pop off the ball, a lot of spin to control the ball? Can I have a full swing and put enough top spin on the ball to knock the ball back in play or to keep the ball in play? I don't know. So I decided to test out these paddles. Now, what I'm trying out is the CX11 and CX14. With the CX11, there's 3 types, right? There's a power, there's a control, and then there's a quad series that I wanted to try out. The other model is the CX14. CX14 is probably their flagship paddle, right? It's supposed to be top of the line, supposed to be a great balance between power and control, but I'll be able to figure that out. Now, these are the 4 paddles that I chose to go with. Like I said, this is the CX14, their flagship model. What's unique about this Gearbox paddle is that it's slightly thicker than the others. I don't know if you can see that, but that little bit of thickness does make a difference. Now, I tend to like a lighter weight paddle. Most of my swings, I have a lot of wrist movement to really pop the ball, add speed and power to the ball. You have to incorporate your wrist at times, right? So I like a thinner handle and a lighter paddle. Now, typically, I use the 7.8. This is an 8-ounce paddle, and I believe that this is the only weight class it comes in. Now, for some, that works out well. For me, not too sure, because that 0.2 ounces can make a difference in my game. It only takes a fraction of a second to hit a great shot or a really bad shot, right? So that extra 0.2 ounces can make a difference, and I'll be looking out for that. But as far as looks go, this is an awesome looking paddle. I mean, come on. You can't get much better than that. Oh, hold on. There we go. This is a great looking paddle. Now, as far as these paddles go, they're all CX11, right? This one is a control series. This here is the power. And this is the quad. Now, the difference with the quad and the other two is the length. Now, I don't know if you can see, but if I line these up, now thickness is relatively the same, but for the length, there's a difference, right? Let's call it an inch, maybe a little bit above half an inch. No, let's just call it an inch. Right, now, for an individual like me that's used to a slightly longer paddle, racquetball, not tennis, having that extra length works for me. Not only that, I'm not very big in stature. I'm only about 5'8", 5'9". So that extra inch can make the difference between getting to a ball and not getting to the ball. So I like the longer paddle, relatively nice sweet spot, pretty wide. And I'm really able to generate a little bit more power using leverage with the longer paddle. So yes, I do lean towards the longer paddles and not the quad. Now, what's unique about the quad is that it's a little wider, right? Because with these paddles, the surface area is the same. This is narrow and long. This is a little fatter and short. So, in general, you probably have a much better sweet spot, or much wider, larger sweet spot, you would say, using this paddle. Now, after using these 4 paddles for the past week or so, I boiled it down to 2 paddles. These 2 here. Now, this paddle felt great. Comparing it to the old paddle, I'm getting a lot more spin and just a little bit more power. Not a ton more, but I can feel the extra power. I love the balance of it. But the only reason why I'm choosing this paddle over this is because this one's slightly lighter. Allows me to bring the paddle around a little quicker, which, as a result, adds power to every swing. Now, you don't need every swing to be powerful, but when you need it, it's there. So if you are a person that's looking for a little bit more power, I would definitely consider this paddle. It's an awesome looking paddle. It feels great, the balance is great, the length is great, and last but not least, the control is awesome. Now, and I'm not sure if you guys can see it, but these paddles are textured. Now, you have 2 separate areas. You have this area here. I'm not sure what this pattern is, but you can really feel it. This is more of a very fine sandpaper, let's call it. Now, these dots here actually feel like little beads that just grip onto the ball and really add spin. Now, on my serve, I'm going to show you guys a few clips. I really like to crank it up, but one of the issues that I have is if I can't add enough spin to the ball, it won't drop in. If I can add spin, not only does it drop in, but it kicks as soon as it hits the floor, right? It kicks towards the receiver. So that's what I was looking for using this paddle. And you know something? It absolutely worked. Certain tools give you confidence. And I have to say that using this paddle, of 20 games, I lost maybe 2 games, 2 really, really close games. And with that, I got the confidence that I needed to really take my game to the next level. Now, do you need this paddle starting off? Probably not. First, you have to figure out whether you love the game or not. Now, and I figured that out within the first couple days that I love the game. Not only is it a great workout, but you meet great people. So I wouldn't commit to any one of these paddles until you fill it out. Everyone's different. Everyone is different. So in summary, I believe that these paddles can stack up to any paddle out there. I've tried a few paddles. I haven't necessarily played with a ton of paddles, but I've tried a few paddles. And of course, I gravitate more towards Gearbox. I totally get that. But I think they may not be the best paddle out there, but they are comparable. Right now, if you're currently using any older version of a Gearbox paddle, I would upgrade. Now, you all, especially if you use this paddle, you know one of the issues with it is control. It is extremely difficult to add spin to the ball with this paddle. I didn't realize that until I tried the newer paddle. I mean, I was doing things with the ball that I didn't even know was possible. It's control, right? It's the ability to manipulate the ball to get it to do what you want it to do. And I had a hard time doing it with this. Now, the beauty is, because I was using this so much, and I had to try extra hard to get it to do what I wanted it to do, using one of these newer paddles, it was a cakewalk. I mean, just every shot was falling in. And so if you're currently using a Gearbox paddle, I advise that you upgrade. This will change your game. So consider it, absolutely. But don't run out and buy it. Please demo as many times as possible. Well, not as many times as possible, but still, demo these paddles. Get a feel for what works for you before committing to anything at all. Anyway, thanks for watching. Appreciate your time.